Yo, what's good, man? Yo, you on?
Yo.
All right,
It's popping.
Yo, it's season 2 Ad Bros. You got Tony Stallion here.
Easy Rose, what's going on?
And we got
1,000
all the way from Chi-Town down here. So, yo, we're just going to get into it. One of the hottest topics right now. This Brett Kavanaugh thing. Originally, when I wrote this topic, it was when he was applying for the Supreme Court justice, and the question was, what do you guys think about lifetime jobs? But, I mean, now that he's been nominated in the whole trial shit, I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'll start off just with like the whole lifetime jobs thing. I mean, is there any other job that you can have for a lifetime? Like for real, like in the United States or in the world, like outside of being a dictator or some shit. But what I'm saying is like that way of thinking is
It's
absurd.
It's old.
Yeah.
It's just an absurd way of thinking. It's like if you got a president who can only serve 4 years or whatever and then get reelected, or if you got senators who can only serve 4 years and House of Representative members that can only serve 2 years then get reelected, like why would you have a Supreme Court person stay forever?
Yeah.
It's absurd.
That's my question.
It's like
because-
checks and balances, man. Like that's what I think it is.
But also, how you think...
But I don't agree with it.
But how you
I
think
the
now...
way we think is so old school anyway.
If you were in the Supreme Court now and how you think, and then 20 years later you're still thinking that way, but everything else around you is changing, it's like, to me, it's like, where is the balance there?
Yeah, essentially there is no balance. And it's almost like we could go back into like the Vatican. Vatican II had to happen because of the reality of like media, right? There's people, we're seeing these people on television now, on radio, that has an influence, right? So like now we have social media. Everybody is so transparent and exposed. Like there's certain things that need to change because you could, back in the days, go into a courtroom, go into a room, do your job, and then you like, I don't know, just doing some wild shit and no one would know. Like
right.
Now we're just so exposed, and it's like now we're giving these people these lifetime jobs like it's 1776, right? Like that shit is played out.
I mean, it's all an agenda, like,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
But back to Kavanaugh though. I mean, I just think like him getting a seat and all that. It's just white boys continuing to do white boy shit. Like, you know, I mean, they got the game set up where it's rigged in their favor, and you know,
the questioning to me was just a dog and pony show. Like, all right, we're gonna do this because all the hoopla, but we already know where we voting. In my opinion, it was just like, all right, like, I mean, to me, Dr. Ford, super credible witness. Kavanaugh, like they said in SNL, started at 11, ended at like a 15. And it was just like, yo, like, my thing is this: if I was crying, yelling in a job interview, like, would I get a job like that?
well, no, most normal people wouldn't, but especially a nigga ain't gonna definitely. They would have beat your ass and drug you out of there for even being.
Yo, this guy's
and sprinkle some crackling.
Right.
They be like, yo, man, this guy's coked out of his mind. You gotta get him out of here.
But I mean, I think it's interesting, and it's interesting to see what'll happen. You know, over the next couple years, like people are like going crazy and being like, "Oh, Roe versus Wade is going to be overturned," and all this blah blah blah. So, I mean, I doubt that happens, but if it does, you know, all this shit is just interesting. I think we're interested in historical times. So,
Yeah.
But you know, also too, like I was talking to one of my old heads, and he was at the barbershop, and he was like, "Bro," he was like, "At the end of the day, as a black man, I'm on the south side of Chicago hustling. None of this shit matters to me."
Right.
He was like, "The government don't give a fuck about me or my friends or my family." He was like, "Yo, we've been niggas here for 400 years, and we just go figure it out."
That's true.
Yeah, man. That's.
I mean, it all affects us, but at the end of the day, we got so much immediate stuff going on. It's like, how can you focus on the hoopla?
I'm just happy that my man who shot Laquan 16 times, I'm just happy that motherfucker is about to get 190 years.
Damn.
That's what I'm really happy about. So,
oh, man.
Is he what prison is he going to? Did they say?
They probably go put his ass in Menard.
He
That's like
gotta be
downstate.
he gotta be in solitaire like his whole time, because cats will come get him.
The rapings go start, bro. Day one, The beatings and the rapings, I go be brutal.
Damn, that's the first cop to get convicted, right? Out of all, not the first, but out of all this,
The only one I can remember. You asking the wrong person. I don't know.
I'm just asking because I'm like, yo, like, there's been so many people killed by cops lately. It's
Bro,
just like, yo, like, I haven't heard no conviction until this one.
Well, no, I remember that movie Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
That cop got convicted and he did some dumb shit, like 11 months, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, this ain't for us. But one more thing about the Kavanaugh thing, and just from like an advertising marketing perspective, right? Like, so I'm sure that like marketers per se is like having a shitty time with this whole thing, just from a brand safety standpoint, right? Because like these brand safety companies, right, and they're just supposed to like protect you around these type of news stories, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like if you're running with partners who have like live streams, like you can't block against live streams, right? So now marketers are calling advertising like, yo, like what's going on with this? Like, let's take this shit down. Like, and it's fucking up.
But do you really think that though?
Yeah,
Like if let's say
I know that for sure.
Oh really?
I know that for sure.
Yeah, really?
I may got inside info.
Your client like ain't fucking with that? They don't want to be adjacent
So
to
here's the
anything
thing.
controversial like
Here's
that?
the thing, not necessarily me, but like I know a few cats at other agencies, and one cat was telling me about how like with this whole thing, someone wrote some crazy shit on Twitter, and they said like, yo, such and such marketer is in support of.
Oh, because it's playing
Just
during the
because
trial.
their ads was on the.
Just because it was a live stream, like so you can't block against live streams, right? So once they put that shit on Twitter, the marketers saw that, and now it's like, wow, this is, you know, they're talking about us in a negative fashion. We have to do something to circumvent against that.
Speaking of
That shit is so reactionary and like stupid though, because
but is it because we're inside, so we understand, like, you know, how it, in terms of like the media and like buying your space, like you don't really control when it comes up during the.
So here's the
stream.
thing: you can control it, like you.
But what about broadcast though, right? Like it's like if you buy some shit on CNN or whatever, right? And, you know, breaking news happens and fucking somebody is caught doing some ridiculousness, right? And then as soon as they go to break, ad for fucking Ford comes up, right?
Right.
Ford can't get mad that this shit came up in the midst of like, you know, this huge controversial whatever.
So,
I mean,
there are like within like insertion orders, like, and then even when you talk about brand safety shit, like they're like keyword lists. So it is a reactionary thing, right? But I think that the thing is like to take it down because, you know, those brands don't want to be associated with it. So there's a rat race to kind of like, all right, we have to do something about it. To your point, it's like very reactionary.
Yeah,
it's very reactionary. So, but in the beginning, like you kind of tell these partners like, hey, we don't want to run against this type of news. Like that's why a lot of companies don't really want to run with news sites, like breaking news sites, because of like this.
Interesting.
This thing.
I mean, speaking of brands being attached to something, I don't know. Did any of you guys catch that Coke bottle during the questioning? And then Dr. Ford asked for like that fucking logo was smack dab in front of the camera on the right side of that conversation. What do you think would have happened if like if Kavanaugh was like, yo, let me get a Pepsi or something? Like, I guess my thing is like, can you like, speaking of what 1000 was saying, is like you can't really control what someone or something is how they're interacting with your brand.
I mean, if I was Coke though, or like that, I feel like that's free. That's free advertising, right? And, and it's like it's being used in the utility that it's supposed to be used, right? So if a motherfucker wants to be refreshed while they're having a conversation and they have a Coke or if they have a Mountain Dew or whatever, like that's an organic thing that's happening. Now, even if they're saying some like crazy, salacious, dumb shit, or if they're saying some super positive shit, it's like the fact that you're getting the placement in there, like it's dope, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit on Summer Catch Up, but like one of the topics I want to talk to you guys about is brands attaching to a movement. Or do you feel like brands attached to a movement? Is it fake? Is it real? Our example was the Nike Kaepernick thing.
All this shit fake. all this shit fake and goofy. For real. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, like brand, everything is about selling and making some money and
that's true.
And trying to tap into emotions and shit like that. Because essentially you're trying to sell people shit they don't need.
Right.
Do I need another pair of sneakers? No.
Right.
But, you know, if they can make me feel a certain type of way or inspired or whatever, like when I see my man who's missing his hand, the football player.
Yeah. The
and
brother.
I see like they did like the little montage of him like being a shorty and then like, you know,
his hand hurting and
then he running and tackling and like doing whatever, and that's mixed in with the Kaepernick shit and mixed in with like the babe, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say babe, but the young lady who is a linebacker, but then she won prom queen and shit too. Seeing all that shit, I'm like, God damn, here I am being lazy as a motherfucker. Let me go out and run. Let me go out and run like 3 or 4 miles. Right. Let me go knock out some push-ups and shit. And then, you know what? I'm gonna throw my motherfucking Nike fleece on. Right. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't mind brands attaching themselves like that. I think the shit that Nike did, I think it was smart. It was timely. It was a big fuck you to the NFL. Especially because they got the contract with them for...
Exactly. They make the uniforms.
I mean, I just think that shit was so smart. It was smart and really well done. I would just say from a creative standpoint, I would have loved Kaepernick not to be the voiceover for that spot.
Because he hasn't spoken really out there. He hasn't really been out there.
I think it would have just been dope for him to be in it because he hasn't been speaking. And it would have like kept with, you know, kind of what he's doing.
No, I agree. I just think it's goofy to me, I agree with everything you say, but to me it's goofy when I see celebrities and people like at award shows and everything like, yo, I'm with Nike. It's like, I mean, you might be getting a check on the low to do this and say this, but to me it's like, yo, like we all know it's marketing.
Right.
It's like it's to
be
like on the right
when
side.
Jim Carrey, when he did the shit on Bill Maher, like, you know, he put his feet up on the table.
Exactly.
Or like the older sister who always is cast as the mama. What's that older sister name? She was on the award show.
I know who you're talking about.
She had all Nike head to toe on. And it's like, okay, I get it, but it's so overt and so extra. You know that black mama.
Yeah, I know. She play everybody.
She everybody mama and grandmama.
Oh, fuck. I gotta find her name. But, she was one of the aunts.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know her name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody knows her name.
She play everybody mom.
She everybody mama.
Yeah.
But I
which is a mean hustle though. If you could be everybody black mama, yo, she probably living so good, sitting on so much bread. Fuck it. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
Yo, play that role.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, I mean, also one of the things that popped up in the news. So this isn't anything new to us in advertising, but WPP, they're consolidating their creative agencies. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the article, but basically, from what I remember, they feel like creative agencies basically aren't hitting the bottom line. The agencies that focus on like data, focus, numbers, they're, I guess, hitting their marks, their stocks going up. I mean, should people be worried?
Should creatives be worried or just like advertisers?
That's a good point. Maybe should creatives be worried because it's leaning more towards like, they don't really care about what the idea is. It's just like, does it hit all these data points? Yeah,
I mean, you know, to Thousand's point, right? Like, it's all about tapping into emotion. So, like, that's where the creative side comes in, right? So it's like, all right, you know, we have this product, but like, how do I make this product relatable? You know, maybe my grandmother used to use it and my mama used it, and you're telling the story about how it translated down to me, right? But then, you know, you talk about like a media person who's like deals more with like data and information and shows like, all right, how with engagement rates and stuff like that, like, or like, I don't know, cost per page view, like those are things that's making marketers feel like, okay, I feel better about this, but none of this shit is tangible, right? Like none of it. Like,
and also the old school agency style is goofy.
And right, so like that style is goofy. Like, I mean, I don't have to look at an ad to purchase like Ralph Lauren's clothes. Like it has nothing to do with that. Like my affinity to Ralph Lauren has something to do with something else, right? So, I mean, just having that conversation, maybe marketers know that. Maybe they just use some of this data to say like, okay, this is working, but is it really working? I don't know.
I mean, I think to the earlier point about agencies consolidating or whatever. One, I think it's too many agencies in general, right?
Absolutely.
Like, it's a ton of agencies. You look at WPP, they probably got like 70 agencies underneath their umbrella, right? And when you just look at like what it takes to build out something or create something, a 30-second spot can cost you anywhere between, on the low end, $350,000 to $1.5 million, right?
Yeah.
So you look at that, and then you put that out on broadcast. You still got to attach media to it, so you might be all in like $6 million, right? And you could get the same impact from going to Facebook or Google and looking at profiles, using data, right?
Yeah.
Using interest and basically creating ads that cost fucking $20,000.
Right.
You could create something like Facebook fucking like GIFs or thumbnails or whatever, and really target like who you really think is your target, and then get insights from like that media buy too, and it costs you a fraction.
Yeah,
so it's like
sure.
if you could do that and get the same level of engagement, fucking conversions, whatever it may be, because everything varies on the product, right, or whatever service you're trying to like advertise against. If you could get all of that for a fraction of, why the fuck do you need so many creative agencies?
Very true.
Like
selling the dream.
You look at
basically.
It's stupid, and then it's like you think about it. Everything like on the client side is about bottom line. So why am I spending all of this money? I got 4 different agencies working on some shit. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's why you look at some brands, they pull all that shit in house.
Yeah.
And it's smart.
Yeah. Consolidate everything. Keep the fucking conversation fluid. And what they say? No silos. Everything's open. Client just get their feedback. Keep shit pushing. You got anything else to add to that?
I'm good. I think 1,000 covered that.
All right. So one last topic that I definitely want to get Thousand's opinion on is, so this isn't new, but NBA season's about to start. LeBron's in LA.
Yep.
What we think is going to happen on the West? And does Chicago have a chance of making the playoffs?
No, I doubt it. If we do, we'll probably be a 7th or 8th seed. But I don't really care about the Bulls like that, unfortunately. I think LeBron going out to LA, it's like, I don't know, like the NBA to me is just uninteresting. Like it's like everybody running up and chasing behind each other and like trying to form super teams. And I get it, there's been super teams forever, but just the method of how it's happening and unfolding is just not interesting to me. What would be interesting to me, I think, is in like the next year or two, like, hopefully, like they saying Durant might go to New York, right? I think that would be amazing. Like if Durant became a Knick,
damn,
that'd be crazy.
You deal with that pressure, that New York pressure?
No, because he's a sucker, I think. I think he's a sucker. You can't come to New York and be a sucker, because y'all are like the worst fans on earth.
Nah, we'll love you one day. You lose a game,
that's terrible.
You'll be trash.
Yeah,
I don't do that, but I know plenty New Yorkers did that to Carmelo.
But if you win here, you got.
If he brought a chip here, he'd be shit.
Shit, man, that's going to work. What do you mean? We go to work. If you're not doing your job, someone's gonna say something about it. If you are doing your job, then they're gonna ignore it and just keep doing your job. Like I don't see what's so hard about that. When you do something great at your job, no one says, "Oh, yo, Tony, you did great." No one says that. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you sipping water right now. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and you keep sipping water, keep working, and then once you fuck up, then it's gonna be you gonna have to a timer. I need a timeline of what happened. How did it fuck up, Tony?
Hey, we put in that perspective.
This is America.
You're not wrong.
But
the whole
it's New York too.
but
New York. The thing I learned about like New York just in general, and I think it goes across everything from sports to just everything. It's like shit here is very black or white, cut and dry. It's like
Facts.
You either in or you out, or you either working or you're not, and it's like fuck you, pay me. Like
you either with me or you against me.
Yeah,
right.
That's how I am.
And it's like
swipe your Metro or get the fuck on.
Yeah, it's like everybody here is replaceable, and it's like if you ain't making it happen, fuck you. I like that personally.
But hey, I don't mind the cut and dry.
I'm an asshole. So,
yo, to Rose's point.
So Durant, I'm just saying Durant. If you come here,
give him a chance.
He needs to come with somebody or toughen the fuck up.
I mean,
but that'll be dope.
To Rose's point, I agree with you, but also if I fuck up at work, I don't have 1,000 to 10,000 people on Twitter and Instagram fucking hawking me talking about how I sucked at what I did.
Yeah, but that's what he signed up for. Like,
that's true.
Like this whole thing,
bro. You getting paid $35 million?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't even have to. Yo, only time, to be honest with you, only time I would be on Instagram or Twitter is if like there's some money behind it and they need to be like an organic post. I'll do an organic post, but you got to pay me. And after that, you can write whatever you want. I don't care about that.
Do you think?
I don't even know you.
Do you think Golden State going to the chip again?
Absolutely,
bro. How could they not?
I gotta ask.
But that's what makes the NBA so whack. It's like you already know what's gonna happen. Like
who in the East though is gonna go?
But
I think Celtics.
I don't know. I don't know if that really makes the NBA. It does, but then I think about it, right? Because like most people, they think about like how, this is an opportunity for the players to actually run. Like it feels like the players are running this shit versus the organizations, right?
Well, yeah,
the organizational structure.
And I like that, but it's also making it whack too, because it's like you like DeMarcus Cousins, right?
No competition.
Him going over to Golden State.
Nobody wanted him though. No one wanted him.
Come on, y'all.
No one wanted him. No, it's
yeah. That's what they said.
That's what they say, but they say a lot.
That's PR.
All right. So here's the thing. Only thing I got to say. Like Golden State Warriors.
You think somebody wouldn't have gave him the Knicks wouldn't have gave him $5 million?
Yeah, but I wonder why would he? But why? He's on a contract.
He's trying to get a
he's trying to get but he's trying to get a contract too, right? So it's like he goes to the Knicks and then he's gonna have to like force himself to actually play against an Achilles injury on a team that's not going to be good. At least he could actually take his time.
No. 100%. I get it. So let's not just say though that nobody else wanted him, because I'm sure somebody would have gave him $5 million to come there. Now I'm saying he's smart. Him as a player, like yo, I'm gonna go fuck around with Golden State, chill out, probably play the last 40 games of the season,
right?
Get a ring, and then y'all look at my highlights of these 40 games that I played, and y'all see, I did my thing. So cut the check. I get it. It's smart.
It's so marketed.
So going back to players having leverage and like being smarter and doing their thing, I like it, right? I'm just saying like when all of these cats run up and huddle up together and shit, like you don't have like everybody like each other. Like LeBron.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Love
but
LeBron.
This is LeBron's fault.
I love LeBron, but yeah, he's all like, everybody my friend and buddy. True. I like niggas that don't like each other.
Kobe.
Everybody went to prep school together. That's what.
And they play AAU. They play prep school.
Yeah.
Kobe era. I like that.
If you know niggas since you was 11 hooping, right, and now you 30 years old, you probably not gonna be like, have beef with them and shit. You gonna be like friends, buddy. I get it.
But what's his name is kind of Kobe era.
Westbrook.
Yeah,
exactly. He don't get no fuck. He ain't trying to be your friend.
He trying to win. Which I respect.
But he ain't never gonna win either.
Yeah, he's not. Only thing I would say,
in the West.
Up until KD got there, the Golden State Warriors was put together by the organization. And it's hard that they say, like, they give him so much flack. Because, like, outside of KD and Cousins now, that was the team that was drafted for the most part.
That's true, yeah.
And signed.
And let's not forget Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Because,
Mark Jackson is
Bishop Lachlan.
Shout out to Bishop Lachlan.
St. John's.
They pushed his black ass out.
Yeah.
He
talks crazy.
He was on the cusp, but they got his black ass out of there.
We're going to play some audio of some crazy shit he said.
Kevin Love the rebound. I'm shocked you downplayed Savannah. He said she was all city. James again from downtown. And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
That's a lesson to know. Like, your black ass get out of pocket.
He said he would pipe LeBron's wife.
Allegedly.
He didn't
say it in those words, but he alluded to it.
He said, I'd take that down. What that mean?
That's what he said.
on
the air.
Recorded. It's on the air.
No comment.
All right, yo, man. On that note, I think that wraps up episode 1. We're gonna have a few more. We're gonna get we're gonna get a space and keep coming. AD was moving.
Yeah.
Man, you ain't got to give the whole background to this shit. What the fuck,
man,
yo?
No
like, wrap this shit up.
Truth, all right,
yo, let's wrap this up.
Fuck up.
No self-talking coming telling the truth.
All right, peace.